It's Friday Night Ice at the Andover Community Center here on QCTV as the Huskies get ready to take on Grand Rapids. And Jim, postseason just around the corner. Huskies have outscored their opponents with 112 goals. Meanwhile, for Grand Rapids, they've been outscored 47 to 48 goals this season. Having a tough time mustering up some performance.
Yeah. Tonight, the difference will be Miles Gunderson, the goaltender. Very, very good defensive. Four very good defensive players on the Thunderhawks. Lack a little scoring punch, like you mentioned. But this is a big Section 7 matchup. This is going to decide the first, second, or third seeds for both teams. So it should be a good matchup tonight.
Well, just a few games left in the regular season, and many say at this time of the season it's like trying to paint a ship that's already out in the ocean. You're just going to make some modifications, some touch-ups, and get it ready for the rest of the run. Coming up next on QCTV, Andover Huskies boys hockey taking on Grand Rapids.
Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Scores on a deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Andover Community Center. It may be cold outside, but I'll tell you, this time of the year can be a great distraction away from that cold. Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs, and both of the hockey seasons are coming to a quick close and some fine-tuning. And tonight, the Andover Huskies take on the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, who come in with a record of 11-8-1. The Huskies at 15-5, and this season, since they've won the state tournament from last year, they've seen everyone's best game.
Yes, absolutely. The hunted the hunter becomes the hunted, and this is no different. The Thunderhawks come in here. This is a game of desperation, really, when you start thinking about the magnitude of where they end up section on the seedings. And definitely a challenge tonight for the Thunderhawks. They've got to figure out a way to score goals. And, speaking of Andover, Andover's got to figure out a way to get somebody other than that first line to get some goals in the net.
And it is. It's about getting the X factor set as we get a look here at the Northwest Suburban Conference as Maple Grove plays tonight. We'll talk a little bit about section play coming up a little later, but they're taking on Rogers. Those two go at it tonight. Meanwhile, Andover at 10-2, followed by Champlain Park having a fantastic season. They're taking on Duluth East.
Yeah, and Champlain Park tonight can do a big favor for the Huskies if they can beat Duluth East up in East.
And Andover, of course, just defeated Elk River 5-0 just a couple of nights ago. So look at the Class 2A rankings here. You get a look at Minnetonka and Edina 1-2. Meanwhile, Wayzata at 13-5-2, followed by Andover at 14-5-1. And there you see Benilde St. Margaret as well there, followed by Chanhassen and Maple Grove. Rogers right behind, and that Northwest Suburban Conference does a great job of filling out the top 10 in Class 2A, Jim.
Yeah, and you see the Lake Conference 1, 2, and 3. So those both the West and the North for the suburbs are really solid tonight, and we'll get a chance to see some little skaters out there for the Huskies tonight, and as the Squirts are out there helping organize and with the starting lineups today.
As you get a look at the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, look at their starting lineup for tonight, Jim.
Yes, Blake Mortensen will center Hayden Davis and Jack Kararski. And Garski, that's that top line for them. On the blue line, some really good defensive Luka Roloff and Will Stoffer. Both very good. And Miles Gunderson, the senior, has been outstanding. He's looking for his 30th career win tonight.
Hey, there he is, coming in with the goals against of 1.98 is Gunderson. And you get a look at the Mark Manny, Andover Huskies starting lineup. At left wing, you've got Cooper Conway. We have some additional information on their point production this season. This first line has been phenomenal. They've scored 72 goals. In center, Caden Casey, followed of course by right wing and Gavin Thorson. Defense is where they've had to try to pick up that gap, Jim, right on that blue line and stepping up and really improving the play. You've seen it here from number 7, Tristan May Robinson, number 3, Landon Stringfellow as well. they continue their way through that. And then, of course, in goal tonight will be Cale Conway.
Yeah, Conway comes in with a 5-2 record, 1.57 goals against, 929 save percentage, and 2 shutouts so far this season.
And we will regain after the national anthem. From the Andover High School Band, the national anthem, the tap of the sticks. I always like that right after the national anthem in hockey. That kind of sets that tempo and sets kind of the flow for the game. The Andover Huskies at 15-5-1 have that front line, top line that produced 72 goals this season. With Conway, Casey, and Thorson, they've outscored their opponents 111-42. And Jim, each game is so different. And I know the coaching staff for Grand Rapids really wants their defense to really hold that line in check and see what they can do.
And this is a playoff type atmosphere for Grand Rapids, and opportunity for them to see how they match up against the best. This is a proud program, one of the best programs in the state. They've won the tournament, they've gone to the tournament, and they absolutely have the pedigree to be able to win this game tonight against the Huskies.
Well, after tonight, the Huskies just 3 games remaining, playing at Maple Grove and Centennial, and then they begin postseason play. And I always enjoyed the statistics, Jim, but they're great fill in and kind of some nice to know stuff. But each game is so different in terms of the flow and the story that takes place. And you know that Grand Rapids is gearing up, and they're going to see. They're going to give the Huskies their best game of the season.
Yeah, this is a northern team. They know how to skate. They know how to hit. They may not be putting in the net, but they're going to give you 51 minutes of hard hockey.
Mortensen will take the draw with Casey. Underway here on the Friday night ice here from the Andover Community Center. Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs and the whole QCTV staff. Thorson on the break. Now settling it. Shot safe. And right into the midsection, an explosive start to this game. We expected nothing less as a bouncing puck was sent across by Thorson over.
Yeah, I don't know how he got that pass off. It almost looked like it went, tried to do a little saucer backhand, and it just went straight up. Landed right on Casey. Casey, nice being able to get it on net.
Yeah, it was a nice save by Gunderson to smother it, as there were a couple of players looking for the rebound. This lifts out beyond the blue line. Casey gets across now, flicks it to the corner. Conway finds his way over skates. Coming over to help out is Thorson. Meanwhile, there's that defense trying to tangle him up, Jim, in the back and roll off and Stauffer.
Yeah, they just know where to be.
Trying to clear and set it up, holding the zone, pinching in was May. Moving in around the corner, rolls off the stick that time of Casey. And now it's run along through the neutral zone, and that's where Partle is back to pick it up for the Huskies. He'll lead it up ice, get another chance. As Thorson was disrupted just as he was ready to receive the puck. Sends it in. He'll head to the bench for the line change, and Dahl is now out there on that second line with Cogswell and KJ Sauer. Sauer just 6'3", 175-pound freshman. And this is the line I really can see picking it up and kind of being the X factor for the Huskies, Jim.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And they're going to need to be. The top line's going to get shut down, and somebody else has got to pick it up.
You can see the defensive players from that opening shift still out there for Grand Rapids. And the pressure continues. Sauer takes it to the corner. Dahl's going to come over to try to help out and kind of poke and prod at that puck and try to get it loose and knock it away from Scheinman. It's lifted to that far corner, still maneuvering. 3 of the Grand Rapids players get near the puck, and one puts it a backhand, forcing the Huskies back in their own end of the ice, losing an edge. The Huskies back there defensively was Belisle. Now to the corner, helping out again, Anthony Pardo. Trying to work it up as the Huskies will continue to try to put some pressure. First save of the game there for Conway. Conway comes in with a goals against of 1.57 and a record of 5-2. Moving in now, here comes Grand Rapids and trying to mount some pressure and sustain it. If they keep trying to poke and prod here. Back at it, the Huskies give chase. It goes to the corner. A collision ensues there, and it comes loose and picked up now cleanly by Dulong. Dulong sends it deep and goes to the bench for a line change and back out, trying to get that number 1 line out there as often as they can. Davis, Mortensen, and Garski is out there now. Working back behind. Grand Rapids lifts it. This one's going to be whistled for the ice with 14:03 to go in this opening period. No score. Grand Rapids and Andover.
But it's a Grand Rapids night here at the ACC at the Andover Community Center. Not only we had a JV lost, or the Andover Huskies beat the Grand Rapids JV 2-0. The Bantams were playing, and it was 1-0. So no, the Huskies have shut out the Grand Rapids so far tonight. We'll see if that continues.
Gary got a look at Miles Gunderson, the goaltender. Oh, shot here taken. Now the quick save, good pad save. Now trying to dip it around, wrap it around, pitch that high, floats high, flutters high. Now it's just smothered by Gunderson.
They're going to bring it out because it's hit with a high stick.
Gunderson comes in with a record of 10-7-1, a goals against of 1.98, and a save percentage of .927.
He had to be active on that one. There's a reason why he's got .927 save percentage. That went up about 2 ticks on that play alone.
Boy, the Huskies have had some point-blank opportunities early, and understanding why they've been able to produce 111 goals this season. Behind the net, trying to stroll it up, pinching it at the half wall are the Thunderbirds. Huskies trying to work it back out. And behind the net to give themselves a little space. Pardo has it, moves it up near the blue line, and now there you see Casey with it. Delayed offside being whistled. Now back on side is Conway back beyond. He waits for Casey, drops it for Thorson. Thorson, little give and go back again on the cutter to the backside. Another save on a follow-up shot. Once again by Conway. You can see what makes this line have such immense horsepower. Taking a look, hey, tonight's really an impact night, and it's not just the regular season. Things are getting set because everyone is in play. Section AA, here's just a little Joe guess main on the section plays currently on the seating. Maybe Andover 1, Duluth East 2, Grand Rapids 3, and that's why it's so critical. Who wins, or where this goes for Grand Rapids is they prefer to get a 2 seed if they could. But there's all different type of underliers, and this year as well, it's going to be a little different in terms of how it's selected, Jim.
Yeah, last year it was QRF only, so the quality ratings formula on Minnesota Score was exactly how they seeded. This year it's going to be coach vote, which, to be honest, as the only section, it's the right way to do things.
So it is. Another section that has some deciding to do is 5A, as Maple Grove and Rogers play tonight. They started at 7:15, so some high caliber hockey and a lot of impact on the line after tonight, after the lights go down on this Friday night ice across the state of Minnesota. Yep. Sauer had it momentarily, now bumped in, getting chased coming off the bench in a fury that time is Perry. He misses on a check. Grand Rapids can just get it beyond the blue line with no juice beyond that. Working out of their own end here, deflects, put back on the stick. And now here comes Perry once again, drop pass, and that's picked up, coming back to help out. Wonderful job there by Grand Rapids, and that was done by Gunderson. That was a drop pass, and if he wasn't there, the Huskies were going to have another golden scoring look. Just inside the blue line, Gunderson unable to hold the zone, and now back in again Huskies on another push. Martin on this one, and that same line with Perry still out there along with Macklin Yale. To the corner. They're banging it around and matched up defensively. It's the defensive tandem that they want out there. And Roloff along with Stauffer for Grand Rapids. We'll get another ice. And 11-16. Been playing a little downhill whenever there's an opportunity. Grand Rapids isn't afraid to take that ice because in high school hockey, you can certainly make those changes at any time.
You got a chance to take a look at head coach Wade Child. And he's got the Tiger Hawks rolling.
Trying to hit that flow. They've got a tough trip down here to Minneapolis. They got Wayzata tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Back-to-back action here. Law will give chase, but now getting there first and speed. Nope, they're going to all the whistle there. Garski was trying to get at it. That first line for Grand Rapids made up of Davis, Mortensen, and Garski. They've combined this year for a total of 16 goals. And meanwhile, that's tough to compare with the Huskies, who have tallied 72 goals on their first line.
Well, each one of the first liners have scored over 16 goals.
Faceoff will come just to the left of Gunderson. Thorson gets low on this one. It's guided back this time. Effort there by Mortensen. Controlled. Thorson tries to center, hits the skate of Mortensen out in front. Now back behind, trying to connect. Here comes Thorson, full bear, and this one's lifted just wide of the mark to the following corner, and Thorson's there first. And Thorson's got that engine that just doesn't stop. He fuels that first line, and I'll share some more info on that as we progress throughout this game. A long stretch pass connect. It goes off the stick of Mortensen, and corralling that puck and securing it is Cal Conway, who gets the call tonight. 5-2 on the season, and a 1.57 goals against.
Joe, here's some Husky notes. Wyatt Kaiser was named Defensive Player of the Week for the NCHC up at UMD. Another great week. He's probably his last year before he gets a paycheck for playing.
I thought he was going to go this past year, but lifted high, glove save, hand save, flashing some skin.
That's Brett Barta. You know, he's a spud, and spuds know how to make those kind of plays.
It's like he was catching a potato coming off the ice with that. Potato on the puck, same thing. Now out in front to the high slot that slithers its way to the corner. Giving chase is Shermoen. Digging it out in the corner. Looks like a foursome down there. Finally getting some spacing as Perry looks for an opportunity there. No, it's Dahl. Back behind the plate. Continue to work it as Law challenged, now moving up near side. Full head of steam. Here comes Dahl. Dahl across the blue line, gains the line. A little give and go back and a tip that goes on, forcing Gunderson to make the save on the quick transition out. Losing control and possession of the puck to Cogswell, and here come the Huskies again, circling and reversing top of the face-off circle to the left, sent back behind to the corner. Dahl will try to intermediate and get there first, right inside the blue line, redirected and put back on goal. Nice effort there by Belisle. And the Huskies are forced back, trying to catch him on a line change. Our Huskies, as Conway tried to get a stretch pass back out to the blue line. He connected it and back to the corner. Here the Huskies come in with Yell. Yell trying to dig it out. It gets beyond him and beyond the blue line. And so the Huskies are there at that time with chance there with Pardo, who sends it in. And they make some changes on the fly. South of 9 minutes to go in this first period. No score between Grand Rapids and the Andover Huskies. Huskies come into the record of 15-5-1, 9-2 in conference play. This one's pitchforked out for the backhand all the way through the neutral ice by Andover. Corralled and gathered up the time. And it's Murphy. Sends it to the opposite corner. And they'll start it up once again, trying to come out clean. But when you have that pressure you're facing, there's a high check. Elbows go high and sending to the ice is Law. He's a little slow to get up as he was lined up for that check by Dulong. Back behind, the Huskies trying to get some spacing, so they reverse from one side to the other side of the corner. That time kind of sticking the knee out that time right at the blue line. We saw Stauffer to Casey, and they both kind of gave each other a look.
And it's here, right here. You can see I tell you what, when those arms go up like that, I believe that should be called a penalty.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, that's how I feel every morning when I walk outside in this cold weather. I feel like I just got smacked at the blue line and lit up.
Yep.
And then, have to take a knee a little slow to get back up again. Combine that with slipping on the ice on the front step. Back at it. Pity party on Joe is now over with 8 and change to go with this first period, and it has been a very physical game, and Huskies now wheel and deal their way in.
Appreciate the invitation to that pity party.
Stringfellow in front delivering a nice dish and a dime. He regathers and reacquaints himself with the puck at the near corner here and brings it back behind to the corner. Thorson is there digging at it. That's always trouble with that trifecta around the net. This one goes off the board just in front of the Grand Rapids bench to Casey. Casey now carries in top of the faceoff circle. Drop pass. Here comes going. A double drop pass. Kicked up. A long rebound. Belial bombs one but misses the net. Unleashes a big blast.
Well, that was the size of a balloon right there for Belial.
A Chinese balloon, perhaps. And back behind to the half, just above the
topical.
It is going to be a penalty here.
I think it's Belial or Thorson. Let's see. That'll be Thorson going to the box for Tripp.
Well, I mentioned Thorson is really, as a goal scorer. We'll talk a little bit about his records and everything else a little later, but he's also done a great job. 4 power play goals, 7 power play assists, 3 game winners, 3 shorthanded goals, and 3 shorthanded assists. So he likes to share the wealth, but he will not be doing that from the penalty box. But here comes Dahl on a shorty attempt. Cuts in front to seal off the defender. Still a loose puck there. Caroms off to the stick of Cogswell. Now it's Dahl. Dahl trying to dial it up. Sends it back on the penalty kill, and the Huskies have been controlling the puck as they begin the penalty kill here with 35 seconds, 1:35 left.
Yeah, really, the Grand Rapids power play, only 7.8. They've got 4 goals and 51 chances, so definitely a good opportunity for the Huskies to kill this off and get their best skater back on the ice.
Yeah, and there you saw right out of the gate, Dahl almost a chance on a shorthanded. Skating in, trying to get things right there on the power play. That was Murphy, but just as he enters the zone, the puck is sent right back out again. Approaching a minute to go on the power play. As you mentioned him, as Huskies at an 81% penalty kill. Now Roman behind, looking to dish and find somebody. There was Davis. Near side to roll off and roll off. Just kind of an unforced error that time since it's beyond the blue line. 6 minutes remaining here, opening period. Still 40 seconds left on the power play for the team in orange and the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. Huskies get it back, send it length of the ice. Gunderson calms the puck. It's dropped back there for Stauffer. And now to Roloff. Roloff, a pass, it's tipped, and they give chase. Getting there first is Pardo. He easily dispenses the puck beyond the blue line. Forced there to control it is Murphy. And they'll rewind and refuel with this power play opportunity. That's the first shot on goal that Conway saw on this power play. 2 seconds left coming off. And a chance now for Andover as they mount pressure. Here's Cogswell back at full strength as Andover. A shot, a wrister, trying to time it just right as Thorson cuts in front. And making the save was Gunderson.
Yeah, last night the Huskies, you had mentioned, beat the Elks of Elk River 5-0. Pardo, Anthony Pardo got a second goal, which was a nice added deal. The other 4 came from that top line.
Drifts out in front now, holding the zone. Andover sets it on. Saw to save, a quick pad save, redirected to the far corner. Coming over is Macklin Yell trying to get in the activity. Huskies hold it again momentarily. Now it's sent back and deep and in and giving chase. That's led by Scheiman. Scheiman unable to get possession, and so far you've seen a lot of Grand Rapids not able to possess the puck once it is in the Huskies attack area. Now back in, up ice, deflected across the blue line. Here they come again as Yell, but lifted off there, and you can see that speed that the coaches were talking about with Roloff. As he darts his way back behind the net, Grand Rapids will give chase, and again, This is Davis trying to get at it. Davis, 5 goals, 9 assists. Top scorer is Mortensen for this Grand Rapids squad. He's got 8 goals, 9 assists. Settling the puck is Conway. He'll work it up to about the half board. A long pass, tape to tape. It's to Thorson. Here they come on the move. Deflected, tried to get a tip was Casey. And behind the play, we'll get the whistle and they'll reset the net. But you can just feel that jump coming when that puck hits the stick of Thorson and he's in full stride.
Yeah, he's got such great vision. That one just about 2 or 3 inches too far for Casey. But that was almost the exact same way that Thorson scored on a pass from Casey against Moorhead last year in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, when he's hitting that full stride, there's not many people who can catch him, or not many people who are calm with him coming down the ice towards him. Behind there is Stauffer again. And you can see Roloff and Stauffer, and now back there is Murphy working their tail off just trying to get the puck out. And when they get that puck out, we got another penalty. No penalty. Skating on. Andover again. Continue to work so hard to get that puck out. By the time you get it out, you got to take a deep breath, and then you have no energy left to move the puck down the ice. At least that's been the case on numerous opponents here this season for against Andover. Cutting back out front, near side here. Murphy is there, puts a shot on, goes to the far corner. 3:20 to go here in this first period. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night ice QCTV high school hockey presentation. Casey on the backhand tried to hit Conway, but disrupted at center ice. Now picking it up is Anderson. It's going to be Gunderson, the brother of the goalie. And they move it back up again with another case and right in stride on the stick of Sauer. The big freshman takes it to the corner. Doesn't mind that corner play when you're 6'3", 175. I can't imagine what his size will be by the time he's a senior. Into the corner now is Stringfellow. Stringfellow's really picked up his pace of play, Jim, and the whole blue line combination with he and May Robinson.
Both have done a great job really coming together and kind of taking the leadership that they had last year with Law and Knox.
Always steps to kind of continue to progress throughout the season. And now's the time we're getting it all cleaned up and all timed up for postseason. One and done. In that postseason, loose puck comes hard off the bar after a check by Sauer. Continues, and it's now just outside the blue line coming in. Here's a chance now for Dahl. Dahl holds on to it, then he takes the shot, lifts the puck, and goes over the top. And looked like he was going to try to send that across and set up his line mate.
Yeah, I think it went off the glove of he came in and he took a shot, and I think it went off the glove of Gunderson. Nope, just plain missed it.
He leaned left. The stick was curled, got the edge, and
yeah, they're missing a skater on the ice. Grand Rapids is.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to be on it.
Joining in late is DuLong to the corner here. Andover still. If there's 5 seconds left, they feel like that's ample time to score a couple of goals. They do not give up. There's Yell to the corner. Taking it back out again. And controlling, setting it up. Martin with the wrister here, and the pad save is made. He was looking across and snuck that one in on the short side of Gunderson. Back behind now. Grand Rapids will break out. Murphy has it. Murphy carries it across center ice. Now gains the line. Dangles it a bit at the face-off circle on the far side and reacquaints himself with the puck at the face-off on the near side. Down to the ice, one of the Grand Rapids player. They'll play on here. Is a wrister, Murphy, and seed it all the way. Good glove play there, flashing a little leather. Hashtag FDL is Conway.
Hey, you can see right there the speed and the skill of the skaters of Grand Rapids. They are solid fundamental. They've just got to figure out a way to get that puck on the net and in the net more often.
And you can take a look at that look. And one thing I've noticed also, we'll touch on in the second period, is the amount of block shots this team will take. Grand Rapids. Numerous guys with 22, 23. There's a drop pass left for Casey, just under his stick. Now back comes Grand Rapids with a minute remaining in this first period. We're scoreless. Carrying it in this time is Mortensen. And dropped. Put on Davis with that shot, and it deflects into the netting. We'll have a face-off just to the left. To the right now of Cogswell. Shots on goal, 7-3.
Yeah, and I think that's off a little bit. I believe that Gunderson's seen a little bit more rubber than that so far.
55 ticks. You can see a typical night of high school hockey here in Andover for the boys and the girls, and it's lined all around the glass. And an SRO evening. Here come the Huskies trying to fuel it. That's Stringfellow. Deflects it. He kind of knuckled it just beyond the blue line. Now he'll get back to the corner to try to redirect it, coming over to help out. Back on that top line. Now the Huskies near side. Thorson could not connect there, sent back deep, and now Stringfellow connects, tipped up there by Thorson. And Thorson will give chase with 20 seconds left. They try to pinch in and bracket and create some pressure here to the Huskies, but Grand Rapids is able to dismiss the puck beyond the blue line, and this is put on goal. And Gunderson says, not comfortable enough to release it when I got Casey coming in on it.
Absolutely. This is a good opportunity for the Huskies to see if they get one more shot on net. They've had plenty of opportunities. And right now, I've got a 4-1 margin for face-off wins for Grand Rapids. There's another one right there against this top line.
To the corner, Davis is going to hold on to that puck, and we're going to go to the end of this first period, and not what probably people thought, because the Huskies this season coming in had really outscored their opponents by a 34-14 margin in that first period. But it's in the books. The Minnesota State High School League getting ready for their postseason and the state tournament. The Huskies looking to repeat at Class 2A. It all begins here tonight as they set the tone and hit the switch. It's no score between the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks taking on the Andover Huskies. Second period.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Hey, welcome back to the Andover Community Center. Grand Rapids, Andover tied at 0 after the first period, and I'm joined by John Toivonen, the voice of the Thunderhawks. John, welcome to QCTV. We're going to talk a little bit about Section 7 hockey and kind of your opinion on what's going on up north. We'll kind of wrap it together and kind of at the end, let's see who you think will be our 1, 2, and 3 seeds so far.
Gotcha.
So,
thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity. We're down here with Rapids Radio, J105, bringing you all the action for the Thunderhawks. So when it comes to Section 7 2A, of course, all roads have led through Andover for the last few years, right? But there's still some northern teams that are definitely, we got to speak of, that in my opinion, it's probably between those top 3 seeds. When you're talking northern teams, the Thunderhawks and the Greyhounds typically have been those, 2, 3 seeds, 1 seeds over the course of the years. The Greyhounds have come out on fire after their first couple of games. We mentioned that they beat the Huskies. They also beat the Thunderhawks 6-0. So, I mean, I think they're just really taking control of Section 7-2A right now.
Yeah, and you know, they've got a big game tonight against the Champlain Park Rebels up there. But really, honestly, you know, I see, you know, as we go, Huskies 1 or 2, Duluth East 1 or 2, unless we see an upset tonight. That could very well possibly be the Thunderhawks coming up to a number 2 seed, and that would be a great deal for not only for the Thunderhawks but for Grand Rapids community to host that semifinal game. Or you know, I guess that's still at Amsoil, but to have those games up there. What's the environment like? You tell me about the environment up at one of the most classiest and best arenas in the state, up in Grand Rapids.
Well, we still have season ticket holders and assigned seating at the IRA Civic Center, and have since, I believe, 1964, if you're really keeping track of it. And actually, there are still people that have had season tickets for that long as well. It is a rich hockey community. Any given night, there is 2,000 to 2,500 people there. The band will be rocking against Duluth East earlier in the season. I mean, I'm betting you could probably get more up in that 3,000 to 4,000 range. And when I'm telling you, you cannot find a parking spot, that is no joke. If you are not at the Duluth East game by 6 o'clock, you're going to be parking about a half mile down the road.
Oh, well, that's great. Yeah, maybe some of our viewers next year, Andover will be up in Grand Rapids. We'll probably see if we can make a road trip and make it close to that. But I want to thank John Toiven. Hey, one more thing, John, you've got some special connections to the Greenway Grand Rapids. Your thoughts on their success so far, as your daughter is a goalie for them?
Yes. My daughter is one of the goalies. She's a junior this year. Her name's Riley Toivonen. And the Grand Rapids Greenway Lightning they've had some kind of ups and downs, and they've struggled on the power play as well as the Thunderhawks have. I think we went a stretch where we went about 0-22 on the power play. But they have some pretty notable wins against Wyzetta, and they've had some really close games. Maple Grove was a really close game for them down at the Walzer tournament in Edina. But Grand Rapids Greenway locking up the number 3 seed in the section. They will host Forest Lake at the IRA Civic Center next Thursday night. Once again, Andover, number 1. Yeah. So all roads will lead through the Andover Community Center down here.
Yes, well, great. Hey, John Toivonen, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're up in the Iron Range and want to listen to a game, what was the call?
So the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks are on J105, which is 105.5.
Oh, great. Thanks again, John. Have a great call for the second period. We'll be back for second period action here from the Andover Community Center here on QCTV.
Birria tacos and craft cocktails. What else could you want? Currently known as Tasty Taco, but soon to be known as Mrs. Taco. It's located in the heart of Andover, Minnesota, and today we're hanging out with Vanessa. Big laughs and homemade food is the theme over at Mrs. Taco, and it's my kind of place.
Well, first of all, it's family owned. It's a small restaurant. We take a lot of pride, a lot of joy in what we do. I don't want to say we are a business, which we are, but more than a business, I want people to feel at home, that when they come, they feel welcome, that they enjoy every bite that they are having, that they are enjoying every drink they are having, because we put our souls and hearts in everything we do. We're very, very passionate about our brand, about our food, our freshness, our drinks, and that's what it's gonna make us different from everybody else.
Vanessa shows us around her beautiful restaurant, from the kitchen to the bar to the table.
Lovely, isn't that beautiful? It is.
Birria tacos is by far one of my favorite dishes. So, let's get a quick history lesson. Roll the tape. Legend says that birria tacos were created in 1950, and the word birria means exquisite, savory dish full of culture and tradition. Makes sense to me.
One of our biggest sellers are the birria tacos. Originally, that was made to be cooked with goat, but then we didn't know how well that was going to be, so we did it with beef. And it's been a big success. Andover is being great to us, very welcoming. We feel like at home. Yes, we're very, very grateful to be part of the community.
All right, so Mrs. Taco is undergoing a menu change, so stay tuned for that. So to keep up with the latest changes, be sure to follow Mrs. Taco on Facebook and check out their website at tastytaco-mn.com.
I'm Allison Griffith. I am the owner of Allison's Petite Pastries here in Ramsey, Minnesota. We have been open for 2 months now, and it's been going amazing thanks to the wonderful community of Ramsey. One of my specialty things that I have here are called petite gâteaux. It's kind of hard to pronounce, but it's a petite gâteau, so it means little cake in French. It is essentially a mousse element, something crunchy into it, a fruit element, a fruit curd, different elements like that create this thing. And what it is it's meant for like one person kind of thing. So with the petite, making things cute and tiny, but I also wanted to go for like the more individualized desserts. So behind me you can see all of the gorgeous petite gâteaux that I have. I kind of do a little play on different things, like there is like a brownie in there called Out of This World Brownie. It's amazing. It's the best brownie. Double chocolate, layer of fudge, layer of ganache, and then my favorite little cosmic sprinkles on top too. So it's something familiar for the city and for people around here to kind of familiarize themselves with. And then I've got my cheesecake, which is like, I will die with that recipe. It's the best cheesecake. I can turn any person who does not like cheesecake, after they try mine, they're hooked. My dad is requesting this year a French silk pie for Christmas, so we will definitely be doing that. The cookie boxes will be back with the 2 different sizes. Great for company parties, great for just having all the neighbor kids out in your yard making a bunch of snowmen and then having some cookies for them as well. The nice thing about those is we'll have kind of, the macaroons in there too for a nice gluten-free option as well. We'll have kind of our classic pack. Obviously my favorite Linzer cookies will be in there as well too. We'll just have kind of tons of stuff. We'll always have case cakes in there and cake pops that are themed. I literally can't wait to turn this bakery from Thanksgiving to Christmas in like a couple hours. So I'm very excited about that. The community has been absolutely incredible. I could not believe it. I literally, the days leading up to grand opening day, I was like, nobody's gonna show up. Nobody's gonna show up. They don't know who I am. It was absolutely incredible. Every time I popped my head up here looking, I got tears in my eyes because I was like, I can't believe this many people want to come and support me, and it's been insane. They've supported me at my house. They've supported me since I've opened. I've heard a lot of positive feedback from the community saying that they just love having a bakery in their town, and that's all I wanted to do ever since I was a kid, was to bring the first bakery to my hometown. And with Ramsey, they've been so awesome and so supportive and so just 10 out of 10 of a community. I couldn't have asked for a better community. There's no other city I'd want to put them in.
Welcome back for second period action on this Friday night QCTV sports presentation. Joe Rulin along with Jim Child and the Andover Huskies, currently ranked number 5 in Class 2A, taking on the Thunderhawks, who are in the metro area for the weekend. After tonight, they will take on Wayzata. But then after tonight, just 3 games remaining for both of these squads. So it's significant tonight here for Grand Rapids to pick up a W. They would love to get a 2 seed if possible in this Section 7 AA, as Huskies are going to be chasing after that 1 seed, probably with Duluth East. And Duluth East took it to Andover earlier this year, shut them out, I believe 6-0 in that contest. So it all sets and rides here, and Huskies have been contained in this first period. A team Huskies have put up 111 goals on the season. The first period, they have outscored their opponents 34-14. In the second period, even more impressive, 44-17. Meanwhile, for Grand Rapids, they're a team that hasn't scored a lot of goals. In fact, they've been outscored by 1 goal, 47-48. But their difference maker of a period has been the second period, in which they've outscored their opponents 29-20.
Well, we'll see the top line for Andover. They're out there waiting right now for the Thunderhawks to take it. I think there's a little determination to go now. They're ready.
Second period, I got a feeling, Jim, they're bringing the juice. Both of these teams. We're going to see some goal scoring. And it's going to be an explosive one, and sent just across in deep by Stringfellow. Stringfellow chases in, now has a chance for Casey to put some pressure on. A missed pass. And on the transition, sent right back in, forced on the save there by Gunderland. This one on the breakout, cannot connect. Back there, and no whistle for the ice. I got to tell you, Jim, the thing that I see many times, and you take it for granted, but you see Andover practicing it all the time, breakouts. Bam, every time, and they come out clean, and there's nothing like a clean breakout. And this time, a pass that missed, forced all the way back into the Grand Rapids end of the ice.
You're absolutely right. You're right. Andover does such a good job of collecting and knowing where to go.
Putting pressure, pinching in Belial with another shot on goal, his second of the game. This one just inside the blue line. Thorson back in the corner, looking for his first tally here tonight, if he can get that. We'll talk a little bit about his numbers here coming up shortly. Trying to move by and eluding a check. Puck is loose. Casey picks it up, drops it subtly back behind Pardo. Pardo now off the glass, sends it through the neutral zone, connects, tipped up by Thorson, and Thorson heads to the bench for a quick line change. That'll bring on the line of Cogswell, Dahl, and KJ Sauer. Poke checks center ice, now ends up on the stick. Back Pardo, and now the breakout, here comes Conway. Skates in, gains the line, drops it there, shredded, has a defender right on his back. As Sauer and finally brought back in.
We'll have a penalty on the Grand Rapids, so we get the chance to see. It'll be, I believe, a hook.
And that was May who was working it in deep.
Hold, yep. Yeah.
So power play opportunity for it. And one thing that we've been hitting is players that are trending, and May Robinson has certainly been doing that. He has a 9-point scoring streak. We'll get into detail on that. But this is a power play opportunity for the Huskies. Huskies come in with that power play proficiency at 28%.
Yeah, what's really impressive is, I know earlier in the year, Joe, you and I did a game, and the special teams are really struggling. To be at where they're at means that they've been probably in the 1 out of 333 range over the last couple of games.
And you mentioned that, Jim, just near the end of that first period, Grand Rapids has been winning those faceoffs. Here they set up the power play of umbrella formation, deflection, backside, couldn't close it, had a chance.
What a play by Gunderson, what a save.
Beautiful save. May had a look. Now back the other way, the Huskies will refuel, bringing it in as Thorson. Thorson heads a wrister, scores! Oh, a laser. He unleashes a snipe in the high slot and puts it top shelf with the peanut butter, and it is a power play goal for the Huskies in a 1-0 lead early here in the second period.
Oh, what a shot. Just skated right inside that blue line. He was flanked by Conway and Casey, and he just decided to rip it, and he was able to score that goal and get the Huskies on the board. Incredible.
Look at that. He rang the bell. You could tell he had a good look on it. He was able to snipe that wrister and beat Gunderson. First shot, beautiful save coming in. Conway has forced to make that save and does.
Thorson last week became the all-time leading goal scorer.
And you know what we have?
What?
A little need to know by
good.
Joe.
Yeah, let's hear it, Joe.
And in that need to know by Joe, cue Jim. Became the all-time leading scorer.
Oh, yeah, he became the all-time leading scorer. I'm sorry. I didn't know that was going to be yours. I thought you had another one. So sorry, Joe.
No,
he took care of Charlie Shane, who's now the number 2 at the Arizona State hockey player.
Yeah, all-time leading, and he also leads all-time assist leader as well for Thorson, I believe, with 116. And kicking out along the side, and we didn't cover that in the production meeting. Yeah. My bad. I was going to have you say it, and it was the need to know by Joe. My bad. Can we do a retake?
Yes. We're going to start the period over again.
Well, the Huskies are in much more of a flow than Jim and Joe as we begin the second period. I said they were going to bring the juice, and they have a 1-0 lead here for the Huskies. Thorson picks up that power play goal. I didn't get word on the assist. But for Thorson, he continues to build that portfolio. 28th goal of the season and his 5th power play goal of the season. Lifted back by Grand Rapids on its edge, and we'll get the whistle and the ice for the faceoff.
Nice little tip right out in front by Crosby Perry, who was just kind of trolling right in front of the crease and just about snuck one past Gunderson again.
I understand Cooper Conway also hit a milestone scoring-wise.
Need to know by Jim.
Yes.
Joe, you're right. He just passed the 100 career point mark last week. Also tied a school record for goals in the regular season. That was held by Taylor Poitner, so his next goal will be a record breaker.
Well, the Portner family, certainly a rich history. A daughter who went on to play some college.
What a nice
hockey outie as well.
Yeah.
A member of the women's team. Head away. Here comes Conway breaking it in, stretching, getting some time, puts a shot, tries to go short side. He regathers and reacquaints himself with the puck, fires it in, and that biscuit gets smothered into the midsection by Gunderson. And the faceoff will take place with 12:30 remaining second period.
That's twice right now that we've had Gunderson lose his stick quickly in this period.
And we talked about, Jim, kind of an X factor as they're getting ready to get for the section play. And you're always looking for, hey, the second, the third line, and they certainly have that talent just to kind of step up of an X. To me, an X player, an X factor player on defense has been May Robinson. And we'll talk about that next stoppage of play. But right now, the Huskies are controlling. Both teams are at full strength, but Dahl sends it back behind, left there for Cogswell. And the Huskies are on a buzz right now. And this is what wear and tear of that first period starts to set in. Sometimes it might feel like elevation sickness when you're out in Colorado and you're walking. And you're the first day, you're like, well, I don't notice anything. It's great. And then all of a sudden, the second day, here they come on the back door, 180 on the twirl, and a backhand just misses. But it's just starts to set in here. Shot short side, continue to push. Another good quality save, and even a better save by Gunderson. Another shot put on and forced to smother it and make that save again is Gunderson. And the Huskies have just elevated, no pun intended, the amount of shots on goal here in the second period.
Yeah, but to your point, Joe, the amount of puck possessions that the Huskies had right there and not come away with a goal is one of those things that a part of maturity right there. And you can see right there, Sauer out in front.
The freshman took a shot from Gunderson.
And another penalty coming up now.
To the corner now. It's
beyond the Huskies.
A work here. It's a breakout pass behind, not able to control. Finally, May tips it, and that will get the whistle. As I mentioned about May is starting with that Maple Grove game in which the Huskies lost. He's had a point in that, but he also scored a point in his next 8 games as well. During that time, he's got 2 goals, 13 assists, but he's just his play and his involvement has been better and better. And you're seeing that blue line get better and better for the Huskies, and I think that could be a key X factor.
Absolutely. Him and Stringfellow back there both do a great job. You know, maybe not as much on the offensive, but they are so good defensively. Caden Martin goes to the box for 2 minutes.
Well, Grand Rapids is going to try to get something going. Jim, you mentioned earlier, just 4 power play goals for this squad here on the power play unit this evening. That's a good tip in front, just goes to the side. Huskies just trying to clear, but a good burst of pressure here and a good looking shot and scoring opportunity there for Grand Rapids. The puck is lifted through the neutral ice, forcing and to reset, and the Thunderhawks cannot complete, and this is dangerous because you've got Thorson back there with 3 shorthanded goals, chasing the puck. And I'll tell you, good disruptive stick towards the puck there, and whistled as they'll bring the face-off back out. But you know, you want to be relaxed, but you want to be confident. And the minute that Thorson's out there on that penalty kill, I got to think anxiety goes up, IQ goes down.
Yeah, jitters. You just get the jitters. You can see the goalie get stressed. Gunderson sees number 12 coming at him, and kind of alligator arms that shot or that pass.
Andover trying to clear. Set up here, sent back, linked to the ice. Huskies this season 7 shorthanded goals. Back behind another round. That's Cogswell pestering Grand Rapids with not an easy out with a man advantage. 40 seconds remaining. They carry in at the blue line, almost stall out there and almost got their team offside, but they'll whistle it back to the corner. Law collides back there, looking for someone in the corner to center it to. That's out to Roloff. Roloff puts it back on. Puck stalls just out in front of Cogswell. Back to Roloff at the far point. Roloff cross ice, kicks it up. Here's a good look. A little tic-tac-toe. Almost a connection that time, but no. It was a tic-tac-no, but they teed it up. Had some really good puck movement. Did Grand Rapids on that run on the power play.
Yeah, Drew Law on the backside there tied him up a little bit as it came in and might have even deflected that pass.
Trying to redirect it behind there was Caleb Gunderson. But it all starts, you can see, with Roloff at that far point. Good stick handler. Stauber now at the near point. Set up here. Roloff sets it to the near face-off circle. 5 seconds left on the power play. Seft off just inside to Stauber here inside the blue line. A redirect in front, almost caught the post. Back at full strength, waiting at the blue line is Thorson. He just missed it. He was waiting for it off the line as he came in, and I think he thought it touched his stick. They felt it went under his stick or under the garage door and didn't touch anything. So icing is the call on Andover, 9:11 remaining. And
that was a pretty productive power play by the Thunderhawks there. A couple of tape-to-tape passes that just couldn't get the one-timer off, especially when you're looking on the slot.
Big shot just inside the blue line, and save is made there. The shot was by Murphy. Back behind Thorson and the gang try to get things going as they try to triangulate the pressure with that first line. A drop pass by Thorson. Unfortunately, he was trying to hit a cutter on that backside just inside the blue line to Conway, but now Casey has it inside. A tip to Casey now from Thorson to the corner, trying to hold the zone here and put that pressure. Point blank opportunity getting possession. A pass from Thorson to Casey, and Casey missed the net. Back around. A chance dip in front, unable to get anything there. Conway had the look, and this time it's May who sends it over the glass, got down to a knee to try to hold the zone and didn't get good wood on that at all.
What an opportunity for Casey. Hit right in the tape, nobody around him, and he throws it just wide of Gunderson. Standing room only. You mentioned that.
Well, and I think a lot of the people here tonight thought it was J-Rat Day, Joe Rulin Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
They'll be disappointed when they find out it's not, and they have to watch this hockey game instead. Grand Rapids trying to tie this up with 8 and change to go in the second period. Hey, 1 goal and they're back at it and locked it up, but the Huskies are flying and buzzing. And when they have that cadence, it's a tough team to keep up with. There's a shot deflects off of Gunderson into the corner. Now back up here comes Grand Rapids, and let's see what they can get going here. Scheinman in that corner. And again, what's been par, they get it in, but unable to sustain the pressure. This one misses on a long pass to Dahl, and we'll get the ice on Andover and bring it back in to keep their sophomore goalie, Cal Conway.
So right now, shots on goal, 16-6 on the season. The Huskies are averaging 34 shots, and Grand Rapids are averaging 29 per game. Huskies are on pace.
To the corner, reaching for it here. And set again. Into the corner. Working it up. Huskies try to nudge it. And finding in possession Stringfellow. Full head of steam. Goes off the stick of Westman. And now back comes Grand Rapids. Nicely poke checked away that time by Yale. Just gets beyond the blue line. Grand Rapids gets possession of the puck and now move it back in temporarily. Tipped by Yale just beyond the red line. And now here comes Belisle. He'll carry it, take it deep. Westman heads to the bench for a quick change. Huskies refueled. Back out is May Robinson. Getting at center ice, turning fire, and is Caden Casey. Charging in Casey. Tried to get possession and settle the puck. Hops his stick, now quickly back the other way. Here comes a rush up ice. Shot on by Grand Rapids. A shot by Mortensen. Again, Mortensen leads this team in scoring with 17 points, 8 goals, 9 assists on the season. Taking a whack at it is Roloff. That flutters high in the air to the corner. And here's a chance as they try to break it out. Andover clean, but holding the zone. Pitch traffic deflected. Beautiful pad save, kicked out. That was a lot of commotion coming towards Conway, and he focused and made a beautiful save. Carrying in Roloff. Hilden, drop pass picked up there by Thorson. He says thank you very much, and now takes it through the neutral zone and is whistled for the offside. 5:52.
Joe, I got another Husky note tonight. Logan Gravink, last year's senior with the big win. And here you can see that pad save by Conway. The senior that had the game-winning goal is playing for the Aberdeen Wings, and they're going against Weston Knox's Minot Mitoceros in the NHL game tonight in Aberdeen. Two Huskies playing against each other.
That's good to hear. Everyone remembers that game-winning goal. Boy, that's, if you're going to have one goal you ever have in hockey, that's the one to have to win the state championship. What an explosive goal that was, and the emotion involved that followed.
Yeah, from us.
Yes, yes, very much. Back behind, and now it's center ice. Carrying in is Sauer to Cogswell. Here's the chance now. Oh, look, a glove save. Oh, my God, that was, somebody called 911. They were robbed and flashing the leather. Hashtag FTL.
Beautiful pass right on a Cogswell stick, and Gunderson, Miles Gunderson, one of the state's best, shows why he is. But what a great pass.
Great pass, and Cogswell smoked that shot. That was a heater coming in. Good save and no rebound. And Law tries to take the shot, hits traffic in front. He'll chase it to the corner and send it down below. A shot from that corner, then redirected back out near the tip and the near point here. To the corner now is Yell. Yell trying to dig it out with Perry. Perry is going to be bracketed back there defensively on the board before they move it up to half wall. And now Perry again being trapped up against the board. Chance on the breakout here. Let's find two defensemen. Moving it up ice. A shot trying to go short side between the post and the pad. The save is made. Smothered to the corner. Pinching back in again. Mortensen, a number one line, back out there trying to ignite this Thunderhawks team. Mortensen gets the puck off his stick. Now a chance. Stopper shot. Save is made. Coming in. Good look at Stoffer that time. More traffic, congestion, save, and again, good focus by Conway. There's a lot of commotion happening in front of him. And to the corner, it's deflected, and that's Garski. They're going to call playing with a high stick and take the face-off out of the Huskies' end of the ice here with 3:55 to go.
Well, that top line of Mortensen, Grabsky, and Davis. Garski, boy, I tell you what, they had a shift there. What a beautiful shot. That was, I believe that was Caden Kyler Miller that ripped one right onto Conway. Almost got past.
A look in here, and again, that Mortensen line. See if they can win this faceoff, and Mortensen is dismissed from this draw. And the Huskies win the face-off. Stringfellow controls now to the corner, is shot, and Thorson comes in, sets this one side, hits that water bottle on top. Back behind, redirected, backside, all alone, scores on the rebound. Picking up the loose change and making a deposit to the back of the net. And the Huskies, Caden Casey scores the second goal. They were working, a lot of commotion, disruption, kept the stick on the ice and make the deposit for the second goal of the game. And for Casey, his 15th goal of the season.
Yeah, really nice play by the Huskies to just keep that pressure on. Gunderson made a couple of nice saves initially, and Casey, that rebound finally just came right out to Casey and able to put it in the twine.
Hey, thing you need to make, I made a bookmark on my mental hard drive. Mortensen was kicked out of that faceoff, and what happened? Yeah. The Huskies won the faceoff and scored the goal, and now they continue to play downhill and try to get a goal number 3. 3:24 to go. We said the juice was coming, and it is. It's happening.
Let's see.
So that far point there, a big blast, and then that got the rebound. Thorson had a first look at it, but then he was tied up. And Conway's there. Casey says, you know what? I'm free. Why don't I just get over there and snap that off and make a deposit?
Let's just go to Thorson and Pardo. Pardo's second point in as many nights.
This one's drifted to the corner, now trying to get on and piling it up, and we'll get a face-off as things are getting much, much more active again. Just like that first period, the Huskies able to sustain the pressure. But I'll tell you, winning those face-offs was such a big deal, and Mortensen is one of those key guys who have won a lot of face-offs throughout the season. He was kicked out. They brought in another guy. Huskies win the face-off.
And again, Gunderson lost his stick again. You see right here, another great picture. Slapping away at it. And boy, I tell you what, that's a quick whistle. That puck was still out there.
That it was. Love the shot. So we are set. 3 and change. Win the face-off. Andover does that again and gets a good look. Both teams at full strength. Weaving up top, face of the circle. Conway shot here, and that is save of the big kick-out rebound. This one sent back length of the ice. That's going to get another whistle, and we'll get another look at a face-off. And Andover's been more and more successful with those face-offs here late in the second period. There you get a look at Gunderson, who's had a workload already tonight.
One of the Thunderhawks last year, Jolie Del Greco, really one of the an all-state player. He's the leading scorer for the Oklahoma Warriors in NAHL.
2-on-1 now, a chance shot, fed back to him, trying to get the rebound. They score and they cut the deficit in half. Garski collects his 5th goal of the season, and they caught the defense of Andover and got that odd man rush. Put the shot on, got the rebound. Coming down that far as the near side, chase it down the winger, and now, just like that, Rabbits have cut their deficit in half to 2-1. Garski will get credit with the goal there. You see him chipping it away.
Yeah, Garski gets the goal. Looked like there might have been. There's some questions going on by Manny right now.
Yep, Coach. Mark Manny, not usually an emotional coach. He's pretty calm back there, but he's upset with what just transpired and continues to be of a lack of call, perhaps.
Yeah.
Back the other way now, trying to create a 3-on-2. There you could see Thorson trying to hold off Mortensen getting back on that 3-on-2. Grand Rapids feels like they got a little mojo happening. Puts it on the stick. Thorson shot. Mortensen with a good shot look that time. And Conway, in good possession there. High shot there as they go and take a look as Thorson goes, trying to put a stick around. And I just love his tenacity in Thorson. He just doesn't give up. He knew the guy just tried to take his head off on that last check, and he found him on the ice. And now he is down on the ice, and Thorson has picked up, collected, or at least created a penalty.
Yep.
And Grand Rapids will go to the box. And you could tell he was kind of just saw him, had it out as Murphy, and he would not let him go. He just kind of kept around him. Whereas after somebody just tried to put a check and an elbow to send you into the bench, some may kind of go the other way. He continued to just get after and some might say antagonize.
Yeah, well, you know what? He's good enough to be able to do that.
Oh,
here's the overhead. Let's take a look and see if we can see the penalty here. Thorson's right there. He's getting slapped around, cross-checked, and then high stick to the head. Absolutely a penalty. And good thing he wasn't hurt.
Here comes Yale working it up on the power play. And setting it in. They'll bring Martin on as part of that power play as well. To the corner, leaving it there, half wall. Stringfellow puts this shot on, trying to find the puck, and Gunderson quickly covers for the face-off.
Yeah, Gunderson has been good in that net. That way he was screened on that one, able to somehow stop that without giving a rebound up.
They have number 3, which is great for Andover, because Mortensen is certainly an igniter on that first line in the penalty box, but I thought the penalty was going to go to Murphy. Good camera work and a good replay to take a look at what transpired from up above. Guys and everyone in the truck doing an awesome job this evening.
Yeah. Now some discussion on whether the referee's hand was up, and the defenseman for the previous part of the shift will have to come back out there.
Side the blue line, Huskies win the face-off. Casey's wrister back out to that first line, and that first unit on the specialty unit now functioning with the power play, and 1:15 to go in the period. Casey has it, walks in, takes the shot, hits off the pads to the corner, and Andover still controls the puck. Conway had it. Thorson went over to try to hold it, and taking a pop at time by Dulong. Cutting through Casey at the bracket of the defense. Regathers and acquaints himself with the puck. Set up in that umbrella formation on the power play. Wrister here is deflected out front, hitting the stick of number 16, Forrest, that time. And you'll see it here. We haven't seen much of it tonight, but Mortensen, for instance, number 3, he has 22 block shots on the season. Meanwhile, the leader is Bauer Murphy, number 14, 27 block shots. And we haven't seen a lot of that just yet here, but that one was deflected by stick and out of play. They reset. Andover wins the draw again, and they move it in. Just inside here, lifted and just off the tip of the top of the glass as you saw a few people ducking to get out of the way. I had my glove hand ready. And here comes Casey leading it out. 25 seconds left here in the second period. Thorson moves in on the power play, loses his edge in the corner, blows a tire. And now a hustle to get over there, and Casey holds the zone. Far point, Kates it in, inside. A wrister here, redirected out in front. Loose puck is there, trying to clean it up and put it away, but unable to get possession with Andover. And that's going to take us probably to the end of the second period. The Huskies will have about 5 seconds left on the power play when they start the third period. Well, 3 goals scored. We said there would be some juice coming away, and in fact it did. It's a 2-1 lead for the Andover Huskies. They jumped out 2-0, and the Thunderhawks cut that deficit in half here near the end of this second period. So, return here shortly for this third period. Stay with us here on this QCTV, and we'll return for that third period.
Welcome to our winter edition of At the Half, the show where we take a closer look at some of our area high school sports. I'm your host, Chuck Stens. Andover boys and girls hockey look to capitalize on their outstanding dual state championships last year. In order to continue their success into this season, let's talk with the head coaches from both teams to see what the teams have to bring.
I'm Melissa Volk, and this is my 10th year at Andover. Our expectations are kind of similar every single year to be getting better, as the season goes and be playing our best hockey come February. We're a year older. Last year we were super young with so many freshmen on the team, and now kids are kind of filling some different roles and kind of figuring it out this year. Our captains, Ella Berger, Issa Gettle, Maddie Brown, that top line of ours, and then also Kaylin Mum back at D, Courtney Stegman, our goalie, but then a lot of other players that fill some huge roles for us and give us that depth that we need. Yeah, so every game, we kind of get excited for, and another opportunity to play with our teammates and whatnot. But tomorrow we play Minnetonka, so that's a big game. And then we're in the Dyna tournament after Christmas. Yeah, we love our youth girls. We're so lucky to know all of them on such an individual basis. But the biggest thing that we preach here is just working hard and having a good attitude.
My name's Mark Manny. I'm the head coach of the boys hockey team at Andover High School. Well, last year's team, a lot of our skill up front was underclassmen. And when you have underclassmen leading your team on offense, they don't feel the pressure that seniors feel. So they tend to kind of play loose and play very well. Seniors sometimes get the feeling it might be their last game if they lose, and sometimes that leads to not playing well. So we had the perfect combo last year of great senior leaders who were calm under pressure and juniors who played free. We'll see what we have this year. Our best players are going to be seniors this year, and sometimes, like I say, that's not a great recipe, and sometimes it is. So we hope our young guys get better every game, and then we get good leadership, and I think this team will be pretty good by the end of the year. Well, up front, our three big guys are Gavin Thorson, Caden Casey, and Cooper Conway. Casey and Thorson both had over 70 points last year. Conway was hurt about half the year, so he had his offensive numbers didn't look quite as impressive, but they're going to be our leaders up front. Throw in senior Mac Yell, and we're looking for big things offensively from him, and junior Ben Dahl as well. And after that, we're going to see who steps forward and kind of takes the mantle and runs. On the backside, Tristan May Robinson, senior captain, who's been a stalwart for us for 2 years now, and will be again for a third. And then Landon Stringfellow, a junior who played a regular shift last year and is getting better by the day. Back in the net, we lost Austin Bronze, who was probably the best goalie in Minnesota last year. So we're just looking for who's going to step forward and take that job. We've got 4 very capable goalies, and any of them could be our starter by the end of the year.
The Tornadoes have some new dedicated members of their cheerleading squad. Let's check in with them to learn some more.
I started coaching this year. I used to coach at a different school for an elementary competitive team, so this is kind of a switch up, but I really like it.
My name is Jordan Waldinger, and I've been coaching here for 4 years. I'm going to be going on 5. I came here to be the assistant coach just right after I graduated high school, so I've been here for a bit.
Last year was kind of rough for us. We had a lot of drama, a lot of issues, but I feel like this year we have the most committed and hardworking team that I've ever seen.
Yeah, we are this is some of the most hardworking girls I've ever met. They're so committed. They want to win. They want to be here every day. They want to put in the work, and they want to get that bid.
I think there's just more energy, more effort. So I just think this team is just miles different than it was last year. They want to be here. I can tell they want to be here. They want to put in the work. They're putting in work outside of practice.
Yeah, the drive is really good. I enjoy it.
We learned from our middle school coaches that were old Anoka cheerleaders that learned different ways and different techniques and stuff. And basically, when we got our new coach, Caitlin, she brought in some new cheers that she did with her old team.
Also cheers that she had learned in high school herself.
Yeah.
So cheers end up kind of just being a big collaboration of what ends up working for the team and like what we like the most.
Our pyramids that we do in our competitive routine, we have performed them at football games just to kind of practice it in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And we've done a couple of routines at Pet Fest.
I think games that we cheer at, I feel that's more performing, and competitions I do view as like competing. Like it's more intense.
Our first competition of the year usually is regionals, and it's always the Saturday before Halloween. And then after that, we have competitions usually on Saturdays, every weekend or every other weekend kind of after that.
Until like late February when Nationals is.
When I got hired, that was my goal to the AD, was I would like to take this team to nationals. That's a huge goal for coaches as well. So.
Coaching this team, we've gotten 2 bids, I think, and we just haven't gone yet. So I think that's always my goal.
Nationals. We want to get a bid to
nationals. Yep.
The Rebels gymnastics team is committed to setting goals and improving throughout the season. Let's see what the team is up to and how they plan to seek success this winter.
We're down a bit, but I've always said I want to work with athletes who will work hard. Like, if you love gymnastics and you work hard, that's who I want to work with. And we've got a core group of great girls. We've got an awesome senior leader in Melina Ung. I don't know anybody that's worked harder. So it's been a pleasure to coach her, and she's already been an awesome, invaluable captain, and I know that will keep going through the season.
We lost about half of our team, I'd say, and then we got a lot of new middle schoolers, which is really nice, so that we have a really young team right now, and I think the season will be really fun. We have our summer practices, and then we also do, I tried to do monthly team bondings over the summer before season started.
So the technique is the thing that takes a little bit more time and repetitions to build, and well, really all those things, strength, flexibility, but the strength and flexibility are what we really focus on as a coaching staff. Of those are things we can control. If you're doing your splits daily and really working it, you'll get more flexible. If you're doing shoulder stretches, and we do partner shoulder stretches and a lot of different stretches, you'll get more shoulder flexibility. So the strength and flexibility we focus on a lot. We focus a lot on improvement. So it's always a goal of ours with both our varsity and JV to have the team from that first meet to the end meet improve 8 to 10 points. And last year I think we got almost to 12 with the varsity, and I think maybe even 13 with the JVs. So those continue to be our goals. So this year we're just focusing on rebuilding those good team habits and that mentality towards improvement. And we're going to try and beat those teams that are at that same level that we're at, and show that we worked to be our best on that day.
That's it for this edition of At the Half. Make sure to keep up to date with all your local sports coverage by liking and subscribing to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Thanks for watching.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How is it? Is it good?
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back. Third period play about to begin. This a barn burner tonight. The Huskies taking on the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. Both teams could potentially meet in section play, and the Huskies put up 2 to begin this second period. And here's a quick look of that first period with a chance started. Both teams exchanged some high energy and some good quality looks. Both goalies turned away every shot that they faced, flip-flopping, hacking stats, and doing it all, but unable to get anything by those goalies in that first period.
And a big hit right there on Drew Law, who was able to shake it off. We saw him. And Tommy Dahl with a nice shot that just went wide.
Second period, the Huskies unleashed a couple of goals. And a good look here. And there's the first goal tallied there by who other than Thorson. And more pressure coming back for Grand Rapids on that goal by Thorson. He was assisted by
Pardo, Tristan May and Conway.
You see some beautiful glove saves. Punishing, good look, picking up the loose change that time. And Casey tallies that goal and assisted by
Thorson and Pardo.
Coming back quickly and trying to close the gap of that goal by the Thunderwaves was by Garski.
And that was assisted by Roloff.
And that's where we're at right now, 2-1. Andover's going to start this third period with 7 seconds left on the man advantage. And they won the faceoff, did Grand Rapids, and that's going to take care of what's left of the change on the power play. But here comes that first line of Thorson. Thorson circles back up top. Do you ever think he ever starts anything slow? Up top, Worcester off the mark that time by Casey. Goes to the corner. The Huskies pinch in, trying to hold, unable to do so. Stringfellow will risk this one and flop it to the far corner. Giving chase. Still with some juice left on their shift is Conway. And Thorson tipped up there. They're going to call a tripping penalty that time, as getting down and tripped up was Mortensen by Dahl.
Yeah, Dahl will go to the bin. He almost speared the Grand Rapids skater.
Well, it's been interesting to see if they make any adjustments. I mean, they've had the whole season in Grand Rapids. We talked about it. Just 4 power play goals on the season. I tallied it up. They're down to now 5.5% success on the power play. And it could be a chance here for the Huskies on the penalty kill. Let's see what they can do. Holding the zone, keeping it at the far point. Now dropping it down. Mortensen on the backhand down low. Gets it back at half wall. Holding that zone. Far point there. Number 19. And that was Henke. Back out. Here's side. Henke at the tip of the umbrella on this formation on the man advantage. Back to Mortensen. Mortensen lifts it back. Henke moves up, down to the side, face-off circle to the left that time, and the shot is deflected. And now back comes Thorson. Thorson's going to be first to the puck. Looking to see if he's got anyone coming with him. He redirects it, carries it out. Now tries to center it to Casey. He can make anything happen in any situation.
Unbelievable.
Mortensen carries in here. Quick wrister. And Chans and Conway there has to be ready and just wide of the mark. A bouncing puck. Thorson trying to tangle up Mortensen from getting back to that puck. It's lifted here and carried out now by Andover. And Dahl sets the backhand, puts it on the stick of Casey. Just 55 seconds left on the power play for Grand Rapids. And they're looking to get something in the flow and a setup here on their man advantage, but the Huskies have been putting the pressure on, not allowing them to get settled. Now to the corner, May is there. May rings it along the board. Looking right, the puck went left. And Cogswell, and it's chipped up into the Huskies bench with 33 seconds left on the man advantage. Boy, I thought maybe Thorson was going to get at it, but he's like a water bug in many ways that he cannot, you can't get a good shot on him. And you could see the two guys were coming down following him to that corner thinking maybe we can get a good lick on him here or pick it up, and he found a way to center it to Casey, who was cutting.
It's just unbelievable, just in unreal vision.
And that speed and quickness all together. Roloff carries in now, top of the faceoff circle, does a pirouette to the corner. Puck rolls off his stick. Cans in, clearing at the far point along the boards, and this one goes length to the ice, and that will kill the penalty for the Huskies. Back at full strength, there's 14:20 to go, third period, and here they started up ice. Poke check that, still with it. There's Stommer. There's a wrister. Save and made. He did a nice job of navigating through the defense, and Stauffer with a good shot, and it was a better save by Conway.
Yeah, and most importantly, it was one and done. It was a shot that Conway was able to wrap up as he had a couple of Thunderhawks bearing down on him.
To the backhand now, moving it up, and here comes Andover. Poke check that time away by Murphy. Put it on the stick of Andover, and Casey recircles, refuels, now carries in. Rolls his stick to the corner, a backhand. Conway's trying to get there first. Casey, and then now there's Thorson out in front. Thorson has it there, sets up, goes to the near board here at the half wall. Across the ice, Cogwell there. Conway back to Law. Law now sets it to Conway down low. Near face-off circle. Sets it up far side. A little give and go back to Conway, cutting in that back door. He drops it there for Thorson. Both teams are at full strength. The Huskies are on a buzz right now. To the corner, controlling Conway. He tries to send it back out in front of the net. Casey's there, trying to hold the zone. Mission accomplished there at the far point by May. It goes half wall and lifts it now over the stick of May, and that will allow Grand Rapids to change. A long stretch pass stepped in front here. A wrister over the top, and a good defensive play by Drecken that time, but he couldn't capitalize. He came in with a good-looking shot and put the wrister over the top. And the Huskies now will try to carry it out. Like they're trying to get themselves into maybe a line change if they can. That's done. Perry's back out. Second line is back out there now. That's Perry, Yell, and Martin. Back out front, wheeling, dealing. There's Roloff, showing his skate ability and speed. Wrister here goes off the top, and I think that hit the crossbar. A good wrister here from the near point, taken by DuLong. Now some pressure coming. Perry carries into the Yell. Yell just goes back to Perry. Perry takes it to the corner, then has it moved off his stick. And now a shot here, wristed to the on goal and then into the netting. And a stick save made by Gunderson.
Yeah, I don't know if that, I think that went off the top of the stick of Conway. The way that ricocheted, another fortunate save.
Some good tempo to this game, though, Jim, here in this third period.
Yeah, this third period is up and down.
And it feels like playoff hockey already. Thorson controls after the faceoff to the corner. He looks to hit the cut. He puts the redirect on, then tries to lift it over the top, and a wonderful save by Gunderson. Controls, holding the zone. Conway now takes it to the near face-off circle. Shot from the dot is blocked by the defense, and out comes Murphy with the puck. Murphy carries in, trying to get around the defense, and that time lifted by. 10 to the corner, now back behind the net, taken down hard. That time one of the Thunderhawk players on the transition pass, put on the stick. Casey lifts a hard shot, goes top on it, and block save by Gunderson off his shoulder. Spinning around, getting a good look this time. Conway has it, far side now to Thorson. At the far point, ready to unleash a shot that almost snuck right by Gunderson that time. You're going to need some distraction in front of Gunderson to get one by him. He's just a great technique, strong on minimizing the rebound. Trying to send a backhand down. Had to go solo. He didn't quite have the support that time. Was Garski. Back in, Thorson's hounding again. You know, he picks it up and brings it in offside as Dahl was trying to get himself back onside.
Well, I tell you what, this line of Casey, Thorson, and Conway, they've been almost snake bit. They've got 2 goals tonight, and they've almost been snake bit against Miles. This one right here, nice shot, hard shot, kind of handcuffed Gunderson. Comes back around.
Grand Rapids looking each shift as a chance for them to tie it up. In comes Stauffer. This one's deflected again. Front into the netting. And face off will be in the Andover end of the ice. Let's see who's going to take this draw. If it's going to be Mortensen, he's had some success. They pull Mortensen and that whole line off.
And Andover will make a chess move change as well. You can tell this is a high-level Section 7 game match between these two. These are two very good teams.
We are looking intermission. Maybe catch a score, that Champlain Park Duluth East game, and it sounds like, Jim, that game was postponed.
It was due to cold.
Hard shot, gathering it, no rebound. Trying to walk the ladder and go up top with Stauffer with the wrister just inside the blue line. And Conway makes that save.
You know, Grand Rapids has kind of equaled the shots on goal between the Huskies and the Greyhawks. 10-10 on the last 10 minutes.
Rebound gathered in.
Conway, nice save again. Again, no rebounds given up by Conway. And this is where you see that second line and come and really try to make a difference. They'll make another switch right now. They bring in the Sauer line and Dahl. Huskies win the draw, pass out front, and kicked aside. Pardo with the puck. Up to Stringfeld, nice little pass and dump in by the Huskies.
Working it there, reversing Roloff, trying to shake the pressure with Andover. Now they'll carry out. Across center ice. Little dump and chase opportunity there as they try to do some line changes as well. Grand Rapids on the run. Holding it, there's shot by Mortensen across on a pass, and it's on the stick of Andover. Here they come, cross center ice. They'll send it in. Cogswell getting there first is Murphy. Murphy hands it off there to Scheiman, and Scheiman now team disrupted by Andover at center ice. Masterson and Mortensen again there with a quick shot on the transition, and you can see both these teams. We talked about chess. A little bit of a rub, a crisscross, any type of a turnover, they're looking to race that thing up and get a good scoring opportunity. And Grand Rapids just a shot away from tying this thing. 2-1 lead for Andover here with 9.5 to play in the third. Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs here on this QCTV Friday Night Ice sports presentation, and what a game. This has been exciting. Back and forth here late in the third. Coming up on the midway mark of this third period as Murphy tries to move it up and out. Picks it up, pass to himself on the board. Held up a good check that time by May that put Murphy on his back. Losing possession and trying to get back at it as Mortensen. It's almost like Mortensen starting to double shift a bit on that line. Thorson carries in, gives it to Conway. Conway tried to get it back to Thorson, scores! Oh my, that was quicker than a hiccup on that goal. Tape-to-tape pass and precision like a surgeon as Conway was able to feed it to Thorson, and Thorson matriculated that puck by Gunderson for a 3-1 lead now with 8:49 to go here in this third period.
You call that a finisher. That is just a great finishing move by Thorson. Great pass by Conway, but look right there to be able to get it past Gunderson with such, with two taps of the stick. Incredible. Thorson, just a wonderful player.
And Thorson wraps around to tuck that puck in the sock drawer. And now it is a 3-1 lead for the Huskies. 29th goal of the season for Thorson, and he continues to build on his Andover scoring record. Now picked up, Sadie in a chance here, but pad save. Huskies kind of relaxed a bit too much as Shermone that time with a good opportunity. Here's Roloff, puts a shot through, makes its way through to force a pad save. And now as around the board, we'll get an icing whistle with a 2:07 to go in this third period.
Well, you can see right there the Thunderhawks not giving up. Sometimes you give up. You're in a highly emotional game. You give up that second goal or that a goal, and you kind of give up. Thunderhawks, there's no give up with this team.
Huskies goal, 114th of the season in the third period. And those certainly had their amount of success as well. But right now, Roloff and this Grand Rapids squad hanging right with the Huskies. That was just a transition, a turnover and a transition, and they cashed in on that transition in about a matter of 7 seconds. That's a shot redirected, going up high for that glove save, but it was directed down low and tipped. And making the beauty save that time, Conway. He had to stay with the technique and keep those pads closed.
I think that went off the post, or off the crossbar, honestly. I think that was one of those that got past Conway.
Back up again. Here's Stafford. Sent in deep and back on is that first line again of Garski, Mortensen, and Davis. Not able to sustain the pressure. Full head of steam coming. Casey, he rockets one and another. Beauty of a glove save. Taken almost right off that stick, and what a focus. I bet you he probably catches flies during the summer, just one hand and the other. Just
with chopsticks.
You've been over for dinner.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I'm going to bet you at dinner that last puck did not go off the crossbar. We're going to have to get a replay to settle this.
Yep.
I think it got tipped out in front. Conway picks pocket. Love it. Sanding in, back behind, on the doorstep. Casey just off the mark. Getting it back again. Shot here. Poking at it.
Gunderson went after Thorson now.
Getting at it. Hey, pressure there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's great to always hear from listeners, if it's text or what have you in a way, or just a form of communication. In the truck, they said they just heard from the 97-year-old grandmother of number 14, Bauer Murphy. So a call out.
So Betty Trubley.
Betty Trash there. Thanks.
Thanks for the call. Thanks for reaching out. Appreciate your viewership tonight.
And a call out back at you. Wonderful to always hear the reach. The QCTV connection. So they'll get the face off now and controlled. Back it goes. Mortensen with a good look there. They're still at the face off dot. On the yell, will give chase to the half wall. Pope checked in, trying to get it ahead here. And out. But the Huskies continue to mount some pressure. In the corner is Martin digging at it. Murphy's over there as well. Murphy throws Perry up against the glass, and now it's lofted and pitchfork its way back down. Law will head back for Andover to pick it up. 6 and change to reign in third period, 3-1 lead for Andover, but Grand Rapids has been mounting more and more pressure. And we'll get a whistle here.
Well, Joe, I think you owe me dinner.
We got to take a look at this. Oh, we're trying to find, okay.
All right.
So I saw that glove go up by Conway, and then I saw it hit his pads. I swear that's what I saw. That could have been George Costanza, said he was spotting squirrels along the side of the road. Deflected off into the pads and off the pad. And I'll tell you, you know, they always said, you hear it in critical times, to just stay with the process.
Yep.
Stay with that process. And certainly doing that tonight is Kel Conway.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done a great job.
Stay the technique and all of that, and with it. And of course they've got that flow going here, and here comes Cogswell deep and whistled for the ice. I thought he got a piece of it before the line.
Yeah, it looked like it. Did
not. Shots on goal in this third period, well, at least for the game right now, 29-21 shots on goal.
Now here's a stat, Joe. You know, you had mentioned Grand Rapids power play and not great. They have not given up a shorthanded goal though this year. They are 0-4 so far. Huskies have 7 shorthanded goals.
To the corner, lifted, now holding the zone. Here's a pad save again from the near point. The shot by Roloff. Andover cross ice, puts it on the stick here of Casey. Casey gains the line. Dipsy Doos, he's taken down to the ice, bringing it along, and now we're going to get a penalty whistled.
Oh, we got
on
two penalties,
Roloff, I believe. And let's see if they're going to call.
I think they're going to call Conway as well, I believe. He took a run.
Casey came in with some energy into the corner. Roloff will go to the sin bin. He's the first one to go. And he was whistled for the trip or a rough. Let's see what they decide to call. Then Conway reciprocated. And always the second will get caught, but that time.
Well, the whistle blowing, and he just you can see right here just a trip on that. But as you see, here comes Conway. Whistle's already blowing, and he throws. So Mike. So and there's some discussion on between Coach Manny and the referee on what was going on, but it'll be 5-on-5.
5:27 to go here in this third period. Off the face-off. Again, Mortensen so skilled at this face-off. Drops it back, look again. Gets it again and controlled by Murphy. Murphy and the Thunderbirds move it up ice. They miss on a pass, and now they're going to get another whistle. And same song, different verse. It's going to be another face-off. Back in the Grand Rapids end of the ice. 5:16 to go. 20 set here, and this face-off will be to the right side of Gunderson.
So 2 minutes for a trip on the Thunderhawks, and for Conway, it's a charging penalty right on against the boards.
To the corner, shot from the side, just trying to get anything maybe off the pad or the back of Gunderson. Controlled here. Casey puts a shot on, but I think that hit Cogswell in front. Casey gets it back, shuffles it back behind the net. Thorson will give chase, but it's in possession of Grand Rapids. So they put a backhand out and coming right back in. Thorson drop pass. Beautiful setup, and that did hit the post. Now off the pass, and now there's Cogswell. He sends a shot on, an easy waffle pad save there for Gunderson. Gunderson is so good technique, so sharp, finely tuned. There's Casey. Tries to drop it to Thorson, getting the stick on the puck and sending it length of the ice. Grand Rapids, and that was a flurry of activity. My gosh.
Yeah, and Casey's he's got a hard shot. It's heavy, and that one went right off the post.
What were those things, nunchucks? Was that what they used to call it? That's what Gunderson looked like. When you watched him waffle this thing, it was like nonchalant, a waffle pad with a stick just waving away a shot. And phenomenal skill set. Back behind now, Yell off the face-off. Right to send it back out front. But it's sent just beyond the blue line, and Huskies send it back deep, and now Dull will go in. Sauer unable to reach for the puck. Pardo hit something, and it came right back at him. Now he gets another run at it and sends it deep, and
we have ice, I guess.
Was that behind? I thought he got a stride ahead, but icing it is. 4:07. Boy, this has been.
It's a quick night. I mean, not a lot of penalty or not a lot of whistles. Well played.
It was good. I'm still astounded how quickly Andover gets a good scoring opportunity on a transition. It's just a matter of a split second, and they have possession of the puck, and bang, they're coming at you. And I think they're used to cashing in on those opportunities, but Gunderson has been phenomenal in net tonight. Here comes Sauer to carry in. The freshman hasn't moved off of his stick and beyond the blue line, now back the other way. Moving in on a 1-versus-3. Shot was taken there by Force, but it didn't get beyond the defender. Stauffer had it. Sauer tries to tangle up. Player coming back, and Gunderson to help out. Now it's back by Force. Force on a pass here, sends it to Dulong, and Dulong sends it in deep. Conway makes that save, stops the puck and moves it up ice. Now on the hands of Thorson. Thorson ahead now to Casey. Casey starting to feel that speed. Casey to the corner, gets right back up. He's being bothered there by Murphy. Murphy shadows him and a give and go back. Trying to do a wrapper around, a quick save, and another wonderful save as Thorson is pinballed around between Murphy and Drennan after that whistle. But what a quick burst of speed by Cogswell to come opposite side from behind the net and put a good shot on. And that's the thing, it's not that Gunderson is just making the block and the puck flops around. It's controlled. I think like consumes like a beanbag, and it just doesn't get a rebound. That's a skill and a true talent as a netminder. Back behind now, Roloff reverses it back behind his goalie to Stauffer. Loses the puck, unable to reach for it, rolls ahead. And here comes Andover on another run, but now Stauffer pickpockets the puck, and they miss just on a pass to Davis. No icing there. Andover now coming out. We'll get a look. Wonder if we're going to see Gunderson get pulled for the extra attacker here for Grand Rapids, as they're going to probably need to double down here with 2:20 to go in this third period. They're down by 2. Here comes Andover. Now full head of steam. Casey brings it in. Quick check back room. Shot and save. Oh my gosh.
Great save again by Gunderson, but what a pass. What a give and go. I mean, it
just meticulous stick work. I mean, good hands. Yeah. It's not like we see a lot of hockey across the state, Jim.
Yeah,
and you sometimes see a puck rattle off somebody's stick. They don't have the hands. But these guys are just, it's amazing. And then they unleash a big, quick shot on Gunderson, and Gunderson casually handles that. He not only handles it, but he flicks it up, puts it in his glove, and says, okay, let's take the face-off. We get a timeout, and face-off is going to come in the Grand Rapids end of the ice, which means they'll have to keep Gunderson between the pipes.
Yeah, with 55 seconds left, they really.
Let's take a look too at some of the schedules that are coming up here for both of these teams and for Grand Rapids. Again, a tough journey down. They don't even make the jaunt down in this cold weather, but they go to Wayzata tomorrow, and then they travel back home on the 7th and take on Greenway, and then they host Benilde St. Margaret's on the 11th, and then they're at Hermantown to end their regular season on the 14th on Valentine's Day. How sweet.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What a great day. That's a great matchup, too. Andover, they've got Blaine. Good matchup again. They're at Maple Grove. That will be one of those must-see TV, as the Crimson have been outstanding. Beat the Huskies earlier. And Centennial, another Section 5 opponent that has had another good year. Huskies beat them earlier this year 4-1.
And broadcast coming your way. Boys basketball, Ossios at Champlain Park on the 7th, followed by some more basketball, Anoka at Andover. That'll be coming on February 8th. Boys hockey again, Champlain Park at Anoka. And both the Champlain Park team is just phenomenal and doing well there. And we hope the best for them in section play as well there on the 9th. And then State of the Cities on Valentine's Day.
That's a good Valentine's Day date. Listen to us on State of the Cities.
Face off to the right, controlled. No surprise there. Mortensen wins the face-off. Now they'll start it back up. They started up ice out of their own end to Davis, and out comes the goalie and back in. With 1:55 to go, extra attacker is on, and we've lost that puck over the top of the glass. Let's see what they'll do. The faceoff will be in the Andover end, so Gunderson will stay on the bench. Extra attacker remains on with 1:54 to go. Here in this third period, 3-1 lead. Faceoff controlled and won once again by Mortensen. Off the shot, it's controlled here. Empty net. Conway has a good look. Misses, hits the side of the post. Had an empty net to take a shot at. Got across center ice and pulled the trigger. But now on the rebound, bringing it right back up again. This roll-off, he'll drop it back there for Stoffman. Stoffman absorbs a check, trying to set up an assist, but Roloff jumps in front of that pass and carries in for Grand Rapids. His shot rolls behind the net. Murphy trying to put it right back out in front again, and it's trying to hold the zone. They get it out just beyond the blue line. Thorson pestering there on the stick of Roloff, and back again to Murphy. Pitch up there, loose puck coming now. This could be a dagger as Conway, goes hard into the bench.
Oh, I hope we
into the boards there. He was trying to get control of the puck as he came in. And by doing that, he kind of put himself at a compromising position as he went face first into the boards. 1:01 to go. If he scored, that certainly would have been the dagger goal for the night. But a little slow to get up.
See right here. Oh.
Yeah.
Face planted right into and not a lot of movement right now.
And probably thankful that you have a mask on that thing at least to absorb some of that collision. Still behind the net.
You see Thorson.
And it was Kyler Miller. Both of them were battling for that thing. Both of them went down, and Miller
and
kind of
Thorson,
on the back of.
Conway couldn't move because the weight of the Thunderhawk player.
The Thunderhawks down by 2 here, and again they get at it tomorrow against Wayzata. Andover hoping that Cooper Conway, who just surpassed 100 points in his career, is all right. He is on the season. Collected 31 goals.
Oh, good news. He's on his feet.
And that's a scoring punch. Well, first you hope that he's good for the safety standpoint and healthy. Get back up. He comes off the ice under his own strength. And the penalty box is open for Andover.
Well, it shouldn't be open for Andover. I think it's for the trainer. There should be either a penalty shot. My guess is there's a penalty shot.
Well, and that would have been the first penalty I think I've seen that door open given to a trainer.
Yeah. Well,
that puck.
There was no penalty.
We'll have to replay that.
Yeah, I thought there was a penalty called.
Boy, that goal awarded to the Huskies.
Oh, the goal was awarded.
Yes. They give the Huskies the goal. And now back behind and back between the pipes. As Gunderson will get some clarity maybe. But I think the puck certainly didn't go in. It was just awarded, is my understanding. So, side the blue line, William May hits this flutter, deflected in front. 20 seconds left, and here comes Miller. Or more for the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. 15 seconds left. Stauffer at center ice. Missing on this pass, and we'll get an ice with 8.4 seconds remaining. Please. Taking a look here right at the end.
So the puck did not go in, and I guess with the empty nets, instead of a penalty shot, they would automatically award the goal. So good work by the camera team right there. Once again, seeing that vicious face plant by Conway into the boards.
Crowd quickly evacuating to get back into the cold. But there's 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and the Andover Huskies come away with a 4-1 win tonight, Jim. Wow, that was a tough, physical, hard-earned game. Coaching staff said, hey, we got a defense that's fast. They can hang with them. They did. They did a good job at Grand Rapids.
Yeah, they've only given up 48 goals all year, now 52. They're a solid team. They're going to catch somebody in this Section 7 Section 7A AA playoffs. It'll be a good matchup. So Huskies go to 16-5-1.
And meanwhile, for the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, they take a mark of 11-9-1 to Wayzata. To the game tomorrow, but it's all about kind of that section component as well, and where everyone's gonna iron out and get set for sections.
So we've got our player of the game.
Okay.
It's coming up next, and who else? Gavin Thorson has 2 goals, one snipe right inside the blue line on a power play, And then this beautiful goal right at the end, pass from Conway, and unbelievable his hands and his ability to be a finisher as a goal scorer.
Well, Friday Night Ice coming your way on QCTV. What a finish. What a full 3 periods of 2 teams extremely competed against one another and probably could meet each other in section play here in a matter of about a week and a half or 2. Thanks for joining us. 4-1 win, Andover Huskies on the night. I'm Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs, and we make a call out to everyone on the QCTV staff, including the grandmother of Murphy, who joined us as well, and everyone else and all the viewers. But thanks for joining us. Have yourself a major league evening at a minor league price. I guess I was on color. I'm so